Let's continue our team coverage with our Rafael Sanchez Cruz, who took some of your questions to an expert. He's outside the Department of Labor, where a rally is being held against the Trump administration's recent actions. Quite the crowd surrounding you, Rafa.
Yeah, that's right, Simone. We're talking about hundreds of protesters. They tell me that they got news that members of the Department of Government Efficiency would be here on the set here at the Department of Labor, and that's why they're here at the steps just a couple blocks away from the Capitol building. Now, this protest comes as that deadline to accept the Trump administration's buyout is fast approaching. In an email, the U.S. Office of Personnel Management offered all federal employees 8 months of pay and benefits through September if they resign by tomorrow. Now, the White House says the number of deferred resignations is growing quickly, and they expect the largest spike in the last 24 hours. However, critics are wondering how the federal government will be able to pay all these employees. Today, I spoke to civil rights attorney Linda Correa, who counsels employees on compensation and also severance negotiations. And this was her advice to federal employees. Let's listen.
Is this buyout legal? And as they're approaching to make a decision.
Well, there's certainly a lot of questions about the proposed buyout. As far as we know, Congress hasn't appropriated money for a program like this. Generally, the government doesn't pay people to not work for several months.
What kind of legal issues would I run into if this is determined to be illegal because there is insufficient funds and I did accept it?
If you resign from your job, you pretty much don't have any rights. You would be in a difficult position to try to, go back and say, actually, I want to keep working.
Attorney Linda Correa says the stipulations in the buyouts have been changing by the day, but in the latest version,
You would be waiving all of your rights to bring any claims in the future. So in exchange for the benefit that they're saying that they're going to provide.
Correa foresees a potential long legal battle about the legality of the program and the payments, leaving those who accept the offer in limbo.
If you resign from a job, you're not eligible for unemployment. So if you're promised payment for a period of time and that doesn't come through, in the interim, while the lawyers and the government sort it out, you may be without income for a while.
All right, Rafa, give me an idea here.
Correa tells me that if it sounds...
Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Simone. I just wanted to add one thing that Correa says that if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it probably is, Simone.
All right. What happens if the federal government starts massive layoffs in an effort to reduce the workforce? What does that mean for the employees?
Yeah, so fortunately, Correa says that if that were to happen, those massive layoffs, then people would, these rights for employees would be triggered and there would actually be more protections for them. But again, what they're offering now is something voluntary. So that's why she's, raising alarms about accepting that alleged buyout. Again, that big concern, and we heard it here today, does the federal government have the money and the legality to actually provide these funds for workers? People here doubt that process. Simone.
There is so much anxiety, as we're seeing in the crowd that's gathered behind you. The deadline to resign is tomorrow, and this is something we're going to continue to follow. Rafa, I know you'll stay on this for us. Thank you. Right now, we know so many of you just have questions surrounding this fallout. Here at WUSA 9, we are working to get you answers, and we're working to hold those in charge accountable. Text us your questions to the number on your screen, 202-895-5599, and we will be working to answer your specific questions.